Now, when you walk through the stuff, hey up, lads.
Champions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Progtor Who, the Doctor Who, a music podcast. Nothing to do with football.
Bob,
yes?
Can I stop you?
You can.
What the fuck's happened to Craig?
Who?
Craig, what's happened to him?
Who's
Look
Craig?
at him.
I've never heard of Craig.
So, was all that a dream?
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. On this week's show, we're reviewing the David Tennent episode, 42. We'll be reading out your feedback. We'll be giving our whatever we decide out of 10. We'll be voting for the Benni. We'll be doing all sorts of things, playing music, etc., etc. I'm your host, Bob, in case you weren't aware. I'm joined by Suky.
Hello.
I'm joined by John.
Bonjour.
And we have a man off the subs bench in the form of Cliff Shephard from Shep's Deep Dive.
Hello!
Hey, welcome to Progtor Who, Sheps. How are you doing?
I'm well chuffed. Progtor Who is what made me do podcasts.
Well, you're welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome aboard.
So don't fucking blame it on Progtor Who.
Yeah, it's not blame us, Shep.
No, it's your own fucking fault.
Well, yeah,
well, all they do.
welcome.
It's like surpassing the dealer, going to the main man who deals.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You come right to the top. Unfortunately, Craig's not very well, bless him, so he's not joining us tonight. But I'm sure he'll be fit and raring to go for our next episode. Anyway, let's have a bit of news. Anyone got any news? Doctor Who news or any news? Anything? It's okay.
We are champions. 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 We are champions. And that's all I'm going to say. That's my singing prowess done.
I'm going to put my Liverpool scarf on because despite the heat, fuck it, why not?
Yes.
Well, that is correct. Liverpool are the champions of the English Football Premier League, which is great.
I've immediately regretted the scarf. God, that was hot. Oh,
yeah, everyone's getting the rags out to mop their brows. It's a hot day as well. That's definitely some news for you. Well, don't forget, we'll be putting this out on our YouTube channel as a raw behind-the-scenes footage of what we get up to, etc. on the podcast. That'll be out straight off the podcast, which the podcast will be out in its usual feed. So please subscribe to our YouTube at Progtor Who. Just type in Progtor Who into YouTube and you should see us in there. Anything else been going on? You've been doing some of your turkey seats, haven't you?
Yes.
Brilliant. Jim just looks blank. It's okay.
Suky, yeah, it's your job.
You've got coming up.
You're admin. Come on, Suky.
We've got Rob Chapman coming on tomorrow. No, Monday, and we're going to be talking about Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country.
Yeah.
And then hopefully in a week or two, a week after that, we should have Deb, who's the lovely correspondent that we have on Trek This Out, and she's actually going to come on and do Serenity. And so we're going to be able to talk to her, the lovely Deb.
Amazing. I can't wait for that one. That'll be super funny, I think. So, Sheps, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Good.
I've got my Blazing Saddles podcast released today. So that'll be one worth people listen to.
How can people check out that, Sheps?
Yeah, everywhere. iTunes, Spotify. Just follow us on Twitter. You can follow us. We go into like the political side of it, go into the history, and it's a fucking good laugh. People should watch it.
So yeah, there you go. Shep's Deep Dive podcast. It's a cracker, and he has some great guests on there.
Not had me on there yet. Not had me on there yet.
I know. I want you on, Suky. I was thinking of a good one. What me and you could do, just like Deep Throat. Have you ever seen Deep Throat?
Deep Throat.
It's a sci-fi.
Oh right. Okay. Explain what that's about, and I won't be able to do some research on it.
I'll send you a link, mate. I'll send you a link.
Oh, no, I need this on the podcast.
He'll have it on
I'll be watching it.
He'll have it on dodgy download somewhere, Sheps. Well, okay. Oh man, I tell you. Wasn't Deep Throat the informant in the Watergate scandal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. What is it? That one with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford.
That's it. We'll do that. You set a date. We'll start up there.
There you go. I've never seen that film, so
there you go. On air pimping there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, well, I was going in the other direction, was I?
Have we got any Doctor Who news? We've not had any Doctor Who news. Go on then, Suky. You give me some fucking.
Yes, we've the Doctor Who escape room. Now, remember about a year and a half ago when when we went to WarpCon, and with there's me, you, Craig, Mark. We were just walking around, and one of the things we saw was an escape room, and we did discuss that there was going to be a Doctor Who one. Now, of course, when it did these Doctor Who ones, but now because of the COVID and it's all been, under lockdown, so you can't really go. But they're doing an online version. So you can get together with your friends, 5, 6 people, whatever, through Zoom, and you can play one of their escape rooms. It's going to cost about £60 a pop for whoever wants to go.
£60 a fucking chuck?
Yeah.
Each?
For about,
I was going to do that for a minute.
It's going to be for the group, I assume.
Well, whatever, fuck off. It's ridiculous.
To do a virtual game?
Yeah, it's absolute bullshit.
Doctor Who Worlds Collide, £60 per gameplay. And £60. So if you fancy go,
that sounds a little bit exploitative, doesn't it?
It sounds terrible. I mean, like, I've never done an escape room. They're meant to be fun, and I can imagine the fun to do them in real life. But all this shit that everyone's trying to do, I know they're trying to keep life real and that. I don't want to do a fucking online escape room. I don't want to do, like all this fucking online.
It's obviously not for you then, Bob. Just somebody will be wanting to do that.
Mainly because of the £60 price tag, which is quite frankly absolutely ridiculous. So, well, that's some good Progtor Who news. Doctor Who news suckies anymore.
Yeah, the Doctor Who magazine came out yesterday as well.
I've not bought that forever.
It's been a while since I bought it. So
anything good in it?
There seems to be brand new interviews with John Pertwee and Elizabeth Sladen that they did on the set of Doctor Who when the show was being recorded in '73, and they've just discovered these interviews and they've put them into the magazine.
What made you buy the magazine this time?
I haven't bought it.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't bought the magazine.
Have you stolen it?
Online, mate. It's there.
What, you've downloaded it illegally online?
As if I'd do something stupid like that. How dare you?
Do you buy have you ever bought Doctor
Who magazine? Currently, Doctor Who magazine is trying to get people to buy because they're about to go. They might end up going out of business because honestly.
Well, don't be shit then. That's all I'll say. Not you personally, but the magazine is a bit shit.
And also, Suky, don't you be shit either. That's another key point.
Have you ever bought Doctor Who magazine, Shep? Has it ever been a thing?
Not in the past. I bought they did like a kids version a few years back when
easier for you to read kind of thing.
RTD, what he doing it, and it was like a bit of cartoony. So I used to get that for my lads because used to get like a miniature little figure as well with it. Actually, it was for me.
For me, lads.
Certainly, lads.
The Doctor Who Adventures. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
I've read any deaths. Obviously, Doctor Who Adventures.
No, we ain't got that. But I'm just going about Doctor Who Adventures. I used to buy that magazine as well myself, just for myself, not for me lad. I know it's an excuse that was, Shep. I understand it was for you and it wasn't for your kid. Right? But I used to buy that for myself, and I've got all the little gadgets that came with it. You had like radios and books, notepads,
a
pencils.
Little miniature TARDIS, which I kept on my desk at work. It was all right.
Fantastic. There was clocks in there. There was a clock in there.
Children's toys.
Yeah, children's toys. Right. I've got two boxes full of it upstairs in the loft. Yeah,
he says looking at a display cabinet fully lit with all of his geek Star Trek Doctor Who figures in it. So I can't talk at all. Cool. Well, if we've got now else, should we get our first thoughts?
Yeah.
So we're reviewing the David Tennent episode 42. On this here podcast. It was chosen by Craig, but unfortunately Craig cannot join us this time. So I'm just going to come around the table and get your first thoughts. When did you first see it? As your feelings changed at the usual sort of drill. Suky, I'll come to you first.
I saw this on initial showing. I wasn't a big fan of Freeman Agyeman at the time, so I wasn't impressed. And then Michelle Collins was in it as well, and I felt she was acting. Her acting wasn't to the standard that I'd like to have seen in the show, because the build her up as a big guest star, and she just didn't seem to carry the show for help with carrying the show. So I wasn't that impressed at the time. Watching it again, I've still got the same sort of feelings, but I've grown to love Freeman Agyeman a lot more. Yeah. So it's okay. It wasn't brilliant, but it was okay.
Okay, John.
Well, I obviously must have watched it when it was first out, but I've got no recollection of it whatsoever. And Yeah, it was a little bit generic. I felt that there was very little like interesting stuff happening in it, and then it was just a lot of running about and like I don't think there was the story was really basic.
Yeah.
And if it's got a basic story, it needs like performances to elevate it. And while David Tennant was obviously good, I wasn't convinced by literally anybody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a struggle to watch all 45 minutes of this.
Wow.
And this is contrasting with the fact that like I was quite happy to watch 2.5 hours of Talons of One Cheyenne.
Yeah.
So it's
Would
not
you
even
rather
a
watch
patch on
Marco
that.
Polo again than watch this again?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheps, what's your first memories, first thoughts
I
on
remember
this?
when I did see it when it first came out, and when I saw it the first time, you could tell it was like a bit of a filler, even though it does have indication of what's going to happen in the future when she rings a mam. How on earth she rings a mam all the way that out far there is a bit odd. And then when I watched it, I was like Suky expected a lot more from Michelle, because she's supposed to be a tried and tested actor. She did look good, sweaty in a vest, so that got extra points for me. But
I think before that going in deep, I think she plays one character. I've never seen her anything else apart from this, and obviously playing Cindy in EastEnders, and that's it.
yeah, it's the same role.
And it is the same thing, just in a vest in space, sweaty. See, are you in the okay camp then, Sheps? Would you say?
I'm in there. Okay, I was happy because this actual series was really good. There's a few crackers in this series, but this one is just very similar to what John says. A lot of running around, and it's definitely you could tell it was a bit of a filler.
Yeah, I mean, for me at the time, it was just meh, and watching it again, it was again just meh. It doesn't bother me at all in the slightest, really.
I would have been interested to hear why Craig picked this, to be honest.
Well, no, I think he was wanting to simplify things for us and give us a break from because we've done some quite intense stuff. And
yeah, but that's 45 minutes of watching that felt like hours. It was no break.
Well, you can have a word with Craig next time, can't you, John?
Fucking will.
Well, let's get a song on before we get in deep. I'm going to come to you first, Suky.
Okay.
It's one of Suky's favourite artists that he knows in and out.
Right. No, I'm up to date already. I'm ready whenever you are, guys.
Yeah, so
Right.
So,
About 5 minutes ago, it's okay.
I know it's half an hour late. Right. Well, I've picked Ben Platt. Now, Ben Platt's a singer-songwriter, and he's also an actor. He's the lead in a show called The Politician, which is on Netflix. But he's released his debut album, which is called Sing to Me Instead. And this is the first track on it, and it's called Bad Habit.
yeah, big fan of you.
No, not really. I just like the song. I just listened to the song.
Yeah.
I got the tracks up, and I was thinking, oh, that's quite nice. I thought I'd pick that.
How did you discover this song?
Yeah, that's what I
Suky?
thought as well, John.
How did I discover it?
Yes.
It just suddenly appeared on one of my little on the internet. How much more detail do you want?
It appeared
How
on
much
my
more
little
detail
internet.
do you want without incriminating me?
Because it's funny. That's the funny part about you picking a song is that we incriminate you for making it up as you go along. I
know.
wish you'd have picked the Anfield Raps, okay?
Well,
that is one of the most.
That's what I told you. I've told you. If you wanted to put the Anfield rap on, just do it at the beginning, and we could have all done the groovy little dance to it.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest songs ever written. Well, that apart from the John Barnes rap in England, that England song. Gotta pass and move or whatever it was. That was ace when it was playing for England. Anyway, enough of that. Let's put Suky's song on, which is something.
Something.
We all right?
Yeah.
Whoa, sweating here.
Oh, yeah, fan. Just get the fan. Just 2 minutes of fan while this is happening. Got it called?
Oh, right, I'm on fat file as well.
I'm happy. I've done.
Okay. And that was Suky's song. What was that again, Suky?
It was. It was Ben Platt, and his number one single, "Bad Habit," on the album "Sing to Me Instead."
There you go. There you go, listeners. Well, you're listening to Progtor Who, and we are reviewing the David Tennant episode 42. I'm going to do the fat file as Craig's off this week, so let me just go on the internet. This came out in it was premiere broadcast 19th of May 2007. Obviously, David Tennant as the Doctor, Freema Agyeman as Martha. It was preceded by the Lazarus Experiment, the Mark Gatiss adventure. And then up next was the first part, Human Nature. It was, Chris Chibnall, who now we know, legendary director Graham Harper. Viewing figures, it viewed 7.4 million viewers. It got no idea of the appreciation index because I don't really care. And where did it come in the poll of polls? That's what I'm going to come on and ask everyone. The poll of polls. You've got 200 odd episodes, blah blah, Doctor Who. Where do you think it ranked in the Doctor Who poll of polls, John?
Well, what number does it go up to?
200 and something.
Yeah, I think it's important that I know how many numbers it is. Well, fucking half a job. Come on, bring Craig back. That's what I think. Where's Craig when you need him?
Well, it's hang on.
Right, I'm going from that.
241
beyond. I'm going from what you've said that it's not beyond 200, right? So I'm going to say it's not high. So I'm going to 137.
Right, cool. Sheps?
I'd go around 145.
Ooh, it's okay.
I think it's lower than that. I think it's about 170.
100 and what?
70.
170.
Yes, 70.
Well, Sucky's the winner. It's 176 in the poll of polls.
Oh wow!
Which I think is pretty about right, to be honest. Right. So 42. Let's kick on. Obviously, around the table, it's not floating anyone's boat, really, is it? Or shaking the world.
You need Craig, don't you?
Yeah, literally none of us going to be enthusiastic about this at all. But I mean, there's big things in it. You've obviously got, it's written by Chris Chibnall, who becomes showrunner, etc.
This can't have been his audition piece to get that showrunner role.
Piece. But I mean, as well, I think it's directed by stalwart and legend Graham Harper. And it was I loved him coming back and directing New Who. He's the only one to do so, I believe, from the old directors, and rightly so, because he was fantastic in the classic series. He brought a lot of life to it. Your guest stars, so obviously you have Michelle Collins, which we touched on before. Bringing in that big name, big name to the British people who watch EastEnders, because I don't know what else she's done. I mean, it's not shit. That's where I'll start from. Suky, give us some positives, or just something.
Positives in this is Freema Agyeman. I did, because as I say, when I first saw this whole series, I think she'd just come out of acting school, and so I weren't that impressed with some of the acting choices that she was making on the show. But now rewatching this and a couple of other episodes recently, I think she's excellent. But any other positives in this? I did like the fact the eye makeup is a proper eye makeup, in that they actually glowed and everything, right? And that was scary as hell. There ain't much other positives in there because everybody else. And I'm sorry about this, Craig, and I know you love this episode, but the story just didn't work. It seemed to meander a lot, and it was trying to paddle just to try and get it into this 42-minute time set that they've set themselves for the episode, and it just didn't seem to work.
I think I think the thing that highlights what the problem was that there was a whole sequence where they've got like however many doors they need to get through, and each one has a fucking pub quiz question on it to get through.
Yeah,
or something that and that's lazy as fuck writing.
It's terrible, isn't it? Yeah. And it was an excuse for her to ring a mum, basically, wasn't it? To start this whole Saxon bit. Yeah, Saxon arc and all that. I mean, it's okay. I think, like Shep said, it's a filler, isn't it? Shep, that's really what it is.
Yeah, it felt a filler to me, but there is my positives in it was the CGI usage of the sun. If you take away the story part, the actual set, the actual CGI usage, they could have done something amazing. That set, that claustrophobic, sweaty set.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a bit bright and a bit fucking? I don't know. It just doesn't.
Well, the sun was a bit bright.
No, but I mean, like, not. I don't mean like that. I mean it's a bit. It reminds me like of a really shit version of the Satan's Pit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because
Yeah.
you've got that. It's John. Because you've got that. Burn with me and all that kind of stuff, and that just reeks of that.
Well, it does get compared to that a lot when people moan about it. They
It's
say
completely-
it's more or less the same as that.
But it's not. It's completely incomparable because it just has the sort of same look.
Yeah.
Spacesuit, Doctor Who spacesuit, that burn with me, that kind of thing. So it has that feel, but it just, I mean, like, in fact, that Satan's Pit, that two-part is one of my favourite Doctor Who's ever. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can see why people would compare it, but it's not comparable really at all.
Yeah.
You just have that same vibe.
It's more of a knockoff, really. It's like a cheaper version.
A much cheaper version. Yeah, it really is. It's
But,
like,
like,
like when you go to Turkey and buy a Rolex watch, a Bolex watch, in it. You know what I mean? Or some Rinbond glasses, whatever they call them. And that. When I used to go to Turkey, I used to buy loads of great stuff for cheap. It was brilliant.
So it's a cheap Chinese knockoff of a Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, John. Yeah.
All right, nice. Well, I think if you're going to look for positives in this, the positives is the set, which is pretty nice. And like Cliff said, the claustrophobia, the sweatiness, you did feel that when you were watching it. They didn't do anything with it. It was just a little bit generic, and they forced Freeman Agyeman to get off with this lad, and I felt that there was nothing in that at all.
No.
And it was just, so that was good. The CGI was nice as well, but the whole falling into the sun bit, and then it was just,
I think what they were going for is the 24 thing, because that was quite big at the time, wasn't it? 24.
Yeah.
And they kind of didn't really pull it off whatsoever. I remember, wasn't there a Doctor episode, and I'm struggling to remember this, where they did have a little countdown clock? Was that the mummy one?
The
Do you remember
mummy one. Yeah,
was
Peter Capaldi episode with the
That had a
mummy.
clock in it, didn't it?
Yeah. But that one was like for only a few minute bursts, wasn't it? But I mean, this story just reminds me of Planet of Evil. Planet of Evil was again.
oh yeah,
where
yeah, me too.
Tom Baker's story. Tom Baker's story from the 70s.
Yeah.
Where the antimatter was scooped from somewhere, and then they needed to put it back before they could actually get away from wherever it was. So this is basically a rip-off of that, but with the added bit of the countdown of the clock.
I think Michelle Collins got a lot of grief for skimming the plasma off the sun, and the sun was alive, so she was somehow, how the fuck is she supposed to know the sun is alive?
Well, it's because she didn't scan and she's not going to use that scoop and all that kind of stuff. And also,
I know,
like,
but
so
that
the
was
people, but the people having the go, the bear with me people out there. Then the doctor, when he gets a bear with me, it's just the bear with me people, ain't it? So they've been taken over by the fucking sun or whatever it is.
She ain't gonna know. But the proud skulls are there, though, aren't they? Your proud skulls are that police scan for life signs when you go around scooping stuff, just in case there is something there. I mean, they might not just be scooping from a sun; they might be scooping from a planet or some moon.
It might be a living planet with a bad mood. I mean,
bad living planets in the past.
The whole concept is flawed.
Yeah, well, when I go get petrol at the fucking or diesel at the petrol station, I don't scan for life forms in my fuel tank, do I?
Do you? Don't you?
Well, to be fair, it did originate with life. It's oil, isn't it? So
Fossils. Did it? Is that what oil is? Yeah. Fossils. It looked like what life was it?
It was just all the life, all the plants, all the everything.
What oil is?
Yeah. What do you think?
It's your dinosaurs and stuff.
It's not just it's your fucking forests and
everything.
Matter.
Everything's squashed up.
All your organic shit.
What oil is?
No, you're just being deliberately stupid.
I'm not. I'm actually fucking not being stupid. Bullshit.
No
oil is not fucking forests and plants and toothpaste and that. Is it? It's not, though, is it?
I can't remember when I mentioned toothpaste, but yeah, it's a good point. It's definitely not.
Next time you go there filling the car, you might be filling my great gran.
Yeah, might do, yeah.
The first time.
You in there, Edna, however your great grand's called. So that's it. When you go to a fuel station, scan for life, apparently, because it's light, because it's alive oil. Cool. What we're talking about? This 42 thing. Oh God. It's got another part to the office. Well.
See, how much more? I've tried to get some positives. Anybody else got any?
The Doctor is the last 15 minutes or so, when he's getting sort of consumed by this burn me being thing. That's a good 5 minutes for him.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah,
good actor, David Tennant, and he's probably the best actor in this episode. Well, he's in most, but on that last 15 minutes, you can see his acting skills just outshine everybody else. It's just a shame on the story side. That's all.
What was like? I'm gonna put this to you. So Graham Harper, brilliant director. We know that from the past. Gets a lot out of the action, a lot out of the actors. But he didn't seem to get much out of them. And I don't want to say it's the ability of the actors or anything, but
I think it might be a lot of that is to do with the plot. I mean, they weren't given much potential to shine.
Yeah,
not literally because there's a sun there, but you know what I mean. But I mean, it's like you can't polish a turd no matter how with how many good actors you rub it. You know what I mean? Just to completely fuck over that analogy.
You can put glitter on it like Kenny Everett or something, can't you?
Yeah,
that's it.
There was 7 crew members on that ship, and the only one you could really say had a good, decent acting was Riley, the one that was stuck with Martha. The others, they sort of had to try and act using that script, and they weren't that great. I mean, the one that was seemed to be just following the captain around. Was it? I can't remember what his name was, but he seemed to be following the captain around, and he just came across as surly, unlikable. Didn't seem to do much. The others, they just had like small little scenes before they were killed off. I mean, Irina, she got killed off after the little scene, where she's going to think that she's been abused by the other crew members for doing this, that, and the other, and then she's just kill me now. What happens? She's dead. That the Doctor gets killed off just a few seconds after the actual Doctor's praised her and says, "Look, you're great, Abby." That the Doctor.
She looked like she potentially quite good as well. That Doctor one.
Well, you know who she is, though, don't you? She's Vinette Robinson from the Rosa Parks episode. She played Rosa Parks.
Oh gosh, I don't recognise her. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
we knew that, Suky. Yeah.
I'm glad you knew that, John. I'm just informing these pair.
Yeah.
Cheers,
okay.
No worries.
It's okay.
I don't think he's flipping.
But I think if you
Are you grumbling at me?
I'm not grumbling. Why would I have to grumble?
Oh, bumble, grandpa.
I'm trying to inform our listeners as well as you guys.
I'll tell you what. Let's have a break. Let's have a song. John,
Ian Jury and the Blockheads. Hit me with your rhythm stick.
Oh yes.
Play it now.
I'm playing it now.
Play it now.
I'm playing it now.
Well, fucking stop talking about it.
Oh God.
Oh, we've got these links down, Pat.
So part 2 review, then whatever out of 10s. The listeners' feedback in it.
Oh shit! I'm on there. Listeners' feedback.
Yeah, you can fucking
read your app now. Oh, a bit of fan action.
Jesus.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, lovely. Right. Okay, we're ready to go. Ready to go? Go again.
Right.
So, John, what was that again?
Yeah, it was Ian Jury and the Blockheads. Hit me with your rhythm stick.
Lovely, simple. I want it. That's how it
should
be.
Do you know what the rhythm stick is?
Crack pipe.
No, it's what he called his bass.
Is it?
Yeah. There you go. A little fact with that.
Great bass line.
Cheers, John. I wouldn't know that. Thanks for telling me.
Wow. He's just punched you there, John. Absolutely punched you. So, listeners, Progtor Who, we're reviewing the David Tennant adventure 422. It's not really getting many plaudits at all, really.
Well, one thing that really marked it out as rubbish was the scene where Freeman Argument and her boyfriend for the episode were in an escape pod and it got jettisoned. And then a couple of seconds later, it got sucked back on. Like, it's an escape pod. That is ridiculous. The whole concept of that was flawed beyond belief. Do you not agree?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
just a bit shit, isn't it? Just everything is a bit shit. It's unfortunate.
Got sucked back. Well, wow.
I don't
Absolutely
even.
no result to that.
I think at the time though, I was probably more positive about it when I watched it first because I was just positive about everything on Doctor Who being on telly still. But God, it's hard. It's not a lot to say about it, really, isn't it? That's the thing.
What I got was that bit where, like he says, when Martha and the lad gets jettisoned, and it's a big scene where they're waving and the Doctor's like mouthing like "fuck you," whatever, and it's going off. They're going towards the sun. You ain't got long left in your life. Now I know it's Doctor Who and it's played at 7:00, but if I was the lad, I'd be thinking, you know.
Like,
I'm not got long. I might as well try it on.
Well, I mean,
I tell you what, it's a comment like that makes me yearn for Craig.
I think Craig would definitely try it on with him. To be fair, I was going to say that what I did like about that scene. I know what you're saying about it is that I did like the way it was shot. And Graham Harper did well. Not so when she's tapping on the window, it's really quiet and quite haunting. And then when you go to him, he's obviously shouting. Then when you go out the glass, and it's quiet, and there's just like this little like light tapping. That was quite cool. That the way it was shot. I thought
it was shot as if this was like the biggest, most awful tragedy to ever occur, and then 30 seconds later, it's resolved. It's just stupid that they do that.
It's all a bit in it.
Yeah.
We're struggling to find
anything
positive things about
anything, lads.
Fucking Chip.
Chibnall did do a Torchwood roughly the same time, didn't he?
Oh,
He was writing that at the same time. So you think he would have come on and written something a bit darker?
Well, the thing is with Chibnall, I mean, I like Dinosaurs on a Spaceship and The Power of Three.
Yeah.
It's just this one. It's just a bit. It's his first one in it in Doctor Who.
Well, you got to look at it as well because this Chris Chibnall's a big, massive fan, right? Yeah. So you'd expect him to write something that would appeal to his own inner child, like to say, look, this is the sort of stuff. And you got Graham Harper, legendary director, right? You'd think these pair together would have been able to get a story that would have been like a classic, but because there's just elements within it, right? The story doesn't help, some of the acting doesn't help. It's just elements like that just does not make this a. I think the thing is for me as well is preceding this is Human Nature, Family of Blood, and Blink.
Yeah,
and they're the fucking. I mean, they're a triumphant of amazing episodes. All them three, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And obviously, unfortunately, we've reviewed them already, so we can't review them right now.
So I'll never see them again.
But honestly, I would recommend watching them too, John. That two-part, and obviously you'll know Blink though, won't you?
I've seen them all. I just don't remember them. It's not like this one was memorable, but I'm sure those other ones were.
Because this was quite a strong season as well. You had the Master, coming back into it, didn't you? The finale and all that, and
teased in this episode as well, isn't it? It's all teased.
Yeah,
you know, you got Election Day. Mr. Saxon will be pleased, and all this stuff. Everything's teased in this episode.
Who's the actress? Who's that blonde actress, by the way, that is monitoring? Do you know, Suky?
The actress's name is Elise Dutoit.
Careful!
I think that's the way I'm going to be pronouncing.
You are so naughty, Suky.
What's Elise Dutoit done before, Suky?
I have no idea, my friend. You will have.
I've seen other stuff.
We're not going to continue to call it the twat.
I don't want to know what you've been watching to see Elise the twat.
I don't know. You said that's how you said her name. What's her name again?
The one that went into the dirty connotation.
Is it du twat? Can we say du twat?
Du twat.
He said du twat. That's what he said.
I know he said that, but you know.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Just because he's the oldest doesn't mean he knows anything.
He's a guru. He's the font of all knowledge, is Suky.
That's what he's getting away with, yeah.
Has everyone had the tea? What have you had for your tea tonight, lads? Have you out for tea yet?
Not yet. We've been recording this fucking podcast over tea time.
You had a bite to it yet, Shep? So
I went Tesco's, and then everyone's there with the masks on and everything. Everyone's following the lines, and I get done in Tesco's because I don't go across lines. I cross the beams like flaming Ghostbusters because I forget to get my packet of crisp or what. So I went back.
Can't go back.
No,
You can't go
it says
back,
no. I was like, what?
You can't go against the floor.
Out? Yeah, it's not Monopoly. I don't want to go back. Go to jail.
Did you have your mask on?
No, I didn't have my mask on
No.
because it buggered up in the car. It's like melted.
What mask have you got, Sheps?
Oh, this like paper one what my mum give me. You know, she'd probably give you one as well, Bob. Well,
no,
That's
that's just for my shoes. She won't let me take my shoes off, so she gives me paper things to put on my feet. So don't make any marks when we're creeping in the back door.
Does Cliff's mum have plastic covering all her furniture? I just want to know that.
it is when Bob's around.
Hiya, Cliff's
He's
mum.
a gusher. He's a gusher.
She'll be watching this on big telly. Hiya, Cliff's on telly again.
And my dad will be there as well.
I bet he's buzzing about this conversation, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's well happy. Yeah.
Oh my god. What are you having for your tea then, Sheps?
This is
What are we discussing here? What are we doing? Yeah. The sooner we get this episode finished, the sooner I can get out of this sun.
But I do want to know what Sheps having for his tea.
Burger.
Burglar.
Burger. Tesco's finest burger that was on offer.
What do you have on it? Cheese, burger sauce.
One word answers, please, Shep. Just give him one word answers. Don't give him a whole flipping.
Bacon,
egg.
Bacon, egg, bit of, like that's what I like. Big egg on it. What you have for your tea, Suky? Veggie tea yet? You're not having chips?
No.
John, what are you having for your tea?
Fuck off, Bob.
Have we got any more thoughts on this fucking TV program?
Let me think. There was something.
Go on, Sheps.
Chibnall was given like the honour to write this episode, and is given a cracking director. How come he didn't utilise the whole history of Doctor Who? I'd start bringing up an old enemy or something just for a one-off. Why did he think he was big enough to write his own story?
Well, he's not a showrunner, so maybe he was given the remit. Look, we want just a self-contained, quick story.
RTD going, look, I don't want you being fucking showrunner, so you'd write a shit script for me. Okay, yes, boss. There you go.
Well, he's probably been talking about RTD. Just add that bit in Saxon if you can. Get her to ring wherever she is.
Yeah,
and
he probably had his own himself.
But you could have just put like an old favourite in there. I mean, put a nice warrior in.
Yeah, but this is what RTD used to do, though, to all his writers, is that he'll go around and go, this is what I want you to do. I want a story set in a spaceship, and it's got to last 42 minutes, and you've got to do it in real time. Yeah. There you go. Go away, write that. I want a story set with scarecrows. Go away and write that. I want a story where Rosie's dad comes back, but he's going to die at the end. Go away and write that. So he'd get all the ideas and just tell his writers to write it. And then, from what I've been reading the writer's tale, half the time he'd rewrite it himself anyway afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Because he just didn't trust half his writers. A bit like Stephen Moffat.
Well, most important question is, though, like, what are you having for your tea, Bob?
Oh, for God's sake, John.
Well, hey, I've discovered a new pizza shop. Like, I've got a couple of pizza shops. Like this
Here we go.
Pizza Della Sol. Because I like a cheese crust, but I don't like it too thick. You know, and I found one Stormbake Slice of Heaven. Fucking hell, it's like a proper Romana pizza, but with a stuffed crust on it. And I mean, when I say tasty, it's fucking awesome. And for my dinner, I had a really cheap pizza with some beans, and then I got some chips. Yeah, I got some chips from takeaway like 3 or 4 days ago. And I put what I do is I put oil and water on them to make them moist again, and a bit of chili spray. So
now encourage him, Chef. Now encourage him.
This is the first time I'm stretching this bad boy out. I've not been on before.
Have we got any more to say on this fucking story?
I'm struggling to think of anything, to be fair. I'm glad we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Have we finished, Suky? Have you got any more?
No, there ain't much more. I mean, I'm sorry, Craig. Craig does love this story from what he's just put down in his feedback, and there isn't a lot there to love. I'm so sorry, Craig.
I think the only thing to mention is when Martha gets the key.
Yes.
Right at the end, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's put some marks. Let's put some 42s out of 10s on this. Cool. John, I'm going to come to you first. Give me your 42s out of 10.
I am going to give this 3 42s out of 10.
Wow, that is slow, isn't it?
It's shit. It's a shit bloody episode. There's no point in wrapping it up.
Sucky, how many 42s out of 10 are you going to give this?
It was going to be 3, but I quite like, as it says, Freeman Adjuman's gone up in my estimation, so I'm going to give it an extra mark and go for 4.
She's very good. I do like Freeman. Sheps?
Well, I initially written 6 and then gave it an extra point for Sweaty Girls. But after listening to all our feedback on this, it's gone down to 5.
Yeah, it's probably
because
right.
I really like the spaceship. I like the set. I like the director. It's just a shame on the story, really.
You like the Sweaty Girls as well.
And I love Sweaty Girls, so what's not to like?
I think
well, to be fair, my 3 marks was all about the Sweaty Girls, so that's pretty much it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Well, for me, yeah, probably I'll join Sheps at a 5 42s out of 10. What are you doing?
I'm just going to say, if he's given it 3 marks for 3 sweaty girls, there was 4 girls in this programme, weren't there?
No, I just give them 3 marks for there being sweaty girls in there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Not for
I
each-
thought it was a
not
mark
for
for each
each
sweaty
sweaty
girl.
girl. Yeah.
I didn't want to objectify them individually, just as a group.
Yeah, this isn't Sweaty Girls out of 10, Sucky.
Isn't it? Oh, right. That must be the other podcast that you guys do.
Anyway, enough of what we think. Let's find out what you think. It's listeners' feedback. Right.
My God, this is going to be a fucking quick episode, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just going to fly by. This is.
More fan time required.
Oh, right.
I found out who that Elise the Twit is. Elise the Twit.
Are you going to get your dick out for YouTube, Suki?
You're going to get your dick out for the YouTubers.
Yeah, your dick out for the lads.
Oh, not getting now. Forget it. I ain't going to tell you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Feedback.
Right.
Well, let's find out what you lot think of 42. I'll start. We've got Zombie Who 97 on Twitter. It contains many tribunal tropes, such as lots of mediocre side characters, a very predictable narrative. However, a stronger cast elevates this, and I think the final 15 minutes are very strong. Tennant's performance there is stunning. 7 out of 10. Suki.
We've got Doctor Who, a British alien. And he's at Doctor Who British, and he's put perhaps a panel could deal with its similarity to Planet of Evil. Otherwise, a good adventure, I think.
Do you want to read your own?
Yeah,
Do you want to read your own feedback out, Sheps?
Yeah, I put. For a really nice guy, Shep's deep dive. So good looking. I'm not gay, but I won't put him out of bed. It's who doesn't like a claustrophobic spaceship hurling towards the sun with sweaty cast Martha Jones and Michelle Collins? Sign me up for that one. 42. Isn't that the answer to everything? Douglas Adams. Oh, we didn't bring that up. The story is good, classic, running everywhere. Tennant's performance is fantastic. As said, not good. Sorry, not great, just good. 7 out of 10, but I've changed that. Gone down to 5 now.
There you have. John?
Mark Ackerton says, "Hi guys, first of all, I really enjoyed your Curse of Fatal Death review. I gave it a rewatch and agreed with all your positive comments. It's a sort of sneak peek of what Moffat would do with the show when he eventually got hold of it. Some really funny stuff in there and definitely worth an 8 out of 10. On to 42. Again, another future showrunner writing for the programme for the first time, and it displays all of Chibnall's strengths and weaknesses. Lots of exposition, lots of talking, shouting, and some clunky dialogue here and there. But also, it's got a nice pace with some good ideas thrown in. The most effective scene for me is when Martha gets trapped in the escape pod and silently floats away from the ship. Very good scene. Nice direction from Graham Harper. It's all very colourful. And having it set in real time is a nice touch. It's not a classic, though, and not one I go back to often, but I think it deserves a healthy 7.5 out of 10 from me. Ooh. Keep your hopes alive. lots of love for Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh,
he's
that's
got a lot more positive, hasn't he?
Mm.
Since he stopped doing the podcast, he's got a lot more positive. Good
He's
luck.
not. He's maybe fixed because we might have broke him on the pod.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Don't forget you can check out Mark's live shows on his Facebook every Tuesday. You can go to his website, markatkinson.co.uk. That's Mark with a C. All details on there. He's got a new album coming out soon as well. Finally, we've got Doctor Who, or at the 100th Doctor on Twitter. Basically a remake of Danny Boyle's Sunshine, but with a great script, tight editing, and amazing performances by David and Freeman. Not even Michelle Collins could ruin this. Thank you very much. And yet,
she gave it a good go, didn't she?
Well, thanks a lot for writing in, everyone. It's really appreciated. Keep it coming. And next, we're going to do something else in the form of a song. Brilliant. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not editing. Right, Sheps, it's your song. What do you want to pick?
I'm picking TB Sheets by Van Morrison.
TB Sheets.
Yeah, you heard it
by Van the Man. I don't think I have. I'll have to have a listen, Sheps.
It's good. It's a good tune. It's a good tune.
You see that, Suky? Just tells me straight away what song he wants. Who's it by?
He's probably had it in his hand for the past half hour, waiting for you to get there. But you kept asking him about what he had to eat. No, I'm not saying that he's got it on hand. It's been there for half an hour. I saw it in his hand. Look on YouTube.
What was your track, Suky?
What was your track, Suky?
What was your track, Suky? Just remind us.
Ben Platt, it was. So, no.
Fuck off.
I think the heat's starting to affect Suky.
You ordering something on your phone or Just Eat? What are you ordering? For your tea?
Who's that?
What are you ordering? You on Just Eat for your tea?
For tea.
Who? You? Me? I was trying to see if there's any more feedback on Facebook.
Right, okay. We've done that bit.
I'm professional, I am.
Well, it's anyway.
Keeping everything on track. We're not going on about Just Eat.
Right, Sheps, this is Shep's song. Van Morrison and what? TB Sheets?
TB Sheets, yeah.
There we go.
Well done, Shep. You know.
Yeah, you're only saying that because to you, picking a song's a fucking horrific hard time. But for the rest,
I have to sit here for ages and ages looking at, is that the correct one? Would they like that? Would they like that? And then in the end, I go, sod you. I go, just pick me out.
You should start from that standpoint of sod us.
I have done.
Well, good.
I did last month, didn't I?
Right.
Last one.
I didn't think you were going to pick Anfield Rap, though.
You did think I was going to pick that?
I did,
I was going to pick Ferry Across the Mersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he first came on Prog 3, that's the song he picked.
Yeah.
Ferry Across the Mersey. Fucking hell.
Yes.
And we still hired him. Unbelievable. Right. Cool. Okie doke. That was your song, Sheps. What was that again?
TB Sheets by Van Morrison.
Great stuff.
That piece of paper's handy, isn't it?
Push straight away. That's
piece of paper. I got a piece of paper in one hand, my cock in the other.
Yeah.
Ready for action.
There we go.
Just like Suky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shep's not get out for the YouTubers. Anyway, it's time to vote for this week's Benni. Okay, so who's going to be Benni this week? It's time for us to vote who we perceive to be the best host. Suky, I'm going to come to you first, you grumpy old bastard.
Well, it ain't going to be you then, is it? I'm just going to interrupt you straight away there, you know. It ain't going to be you. Right, I'm going to give for a lovely Cliff for jumping into the breach and coming onto the show. Right, so just thank you so much, mate. You know, this is what I have to deal with every time. Craig's usually here to help me out, but obviously he isn't here. So did you actually help me out? I'm just thinking about changing my mind now. No, I'll go with Cliff. Don't worry, I'll go with Cliff.
Oh, Cliff's got a Benni. Cliff's got a Benni. Sheps has got a Benni. John.
Well, you know, Cliff, you've come on here. I've been on your pod. We've had some great times. We're doing a rewatch of Twin Peaks. So I don't want you to get a big head, so I'm picking Bob.
Why are you
That's
picking
the way. Because you've done really well today. You've been supportive and positive. Yes. You've asked everybody what they're having for tea. Because, that's important.
It's important.
And also, bringing this all together in one glorious whole.
Thanks, John.
So there you go.
Sheps, who's going to be your Benni?
Well, I'm gonna say Suky, not for he's choosing me, just that I love the way he just decides to rename people twat all the time.
Yeah.
One person, Cliff. One person.
No,
Is
even
it-
when you said prat before, sounding like a twat.
Yeah, he's French. It's French. His French dialect's not very good, Shep. That's what it is.
Well, French ain't good anyway.
So Shep's has got one. I've got one. Sucky's got one. I'm going to vote for John because this is what Benny.
Why are you voting for me, Bob?
Because of your patience with Sucky when he was fucking around with technology at the beginning. Of
I wasn't patient. I was slagging him off so badly while he was off the
Yeah, I
phone.
want to see the YouTube video afterwards. You know, it'll all be up.
It made me feel better. It saved me a job, John. So
we did have half an hour of technical issues with Sucky before we started, though. So
yeah, we did.
that's one of the reasons why I'm not picking Sucky. That's one of the reasons.
Well, talking to Sucky, it's time to find out what we'll be watching next time. So yeah, it's your choosing, Sucky, by the way.
Yeah, I've got two in mind, but I'm not sure because I've got them both here.
Well, can't say.
Is it me next week as well?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Right. Okay. I've
No,
got it. Yeah,
I've got it.
I know which one to pick.
Right. Suckmeister General, put us out of our misery. What are we going to be reviewing for the next episode of Progtor Who?
We are going to be reviewing a Peter Davison story. We haven't done a Peter Davison story for a while now, and so I thought we'll take one from his first season. And this is with Tegan, Nissa, and Adric, and it's called The Visitation.
Oh, and it's on the new Blu-ray, isn't it?
Yes.
Excellent. I do like. Well,
That's good.
I'm not
I
going to.
wanted to tick off all the Doctors. I've done Hartnell now. I've done Doctor 3. I've done Colin Baker. Yeah, I'm getting there. Just Trout. Go.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Well, that was my other choice, which was a Troughton story, but we'll leave that until next time. Which one?
Yeah.
It was the Croutons.
Well,
which brings back the Croutons. Brings back.
Isn't that what you put in your soup?
Just a tack of really hard bread. Massive hard cubes of bread. Cool. So next time we will be reviewing The Visitation, so get your feedback in, etc. That'd be lovely. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for joining me, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Shep, for jumping in at last minute. It's been cracking having you on. And this is possibly one of the shortest podcasts we've ever done. And it's probably...
Is that because I'm on?
It's probably a combination of the heat and just not very much to talk about in the episode of Doctor Who. But no, cheers, Sheps. Really appreciate you coming on. Don't forget you can check out Cliff's podcast at Shep's Deep Dive. Anyway, we'll be back in 2 weeks. There'll be another lockdown coming out next Friday, and obviously a turkey seats as well during the week. But until then, goodbye.
Bye. Sorry, Craig.
Sorry, Craig.
Fuck you, Craig, for picking this one. Hopefully.